Good morning, everybody. Let's see here. Sure, we are up and running. All right. A little bit of computer problems for me this morning, but I am through those problems and can now take the reins back. All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. It's about 8:20 here in the morning, a little late with my computer issues. October 29th, coming up on the holiday. Let's remember, guys, today is a gift. We're going to make it our best. It is time to trade and put some skills to the test. Let's go ahead and begin with our economic reports before the bell at 5:30 a.m. 5:30 a.m. we had the Great Britain net lending to individuals. At 8:30, the core personal consumption expenditure price index month over month. After the bell, at 9:45 a.m., FOMC Evans will be speaking. At 10:30, Dallas Fed manufacturing survey. At 10:30, the Dallas Fed manufacturing business index. At 11:30, the 3-month bill auction and the 6-month bill auction. For earnings events, guys, the first big one of the week we want to be aware of, Facebook on Tuesday, and then Apple on Thursday. So those are both going to be market moving, especially in the Nasdaq earnings reports. Trend biases of the prior day: ES, Nasdaq, Dow, Russell, all bearish. Overnight has been neutral. Everything on the shorter time frame is bearish. Everything on the midterm time frame is bearish, and everything on the longer time frame is bearish. All 4 indexes on the bear trends. Take a look at our previous day's summary in the S&P 500. 26 points on the gap right now. Just another day in a high volatility market. For the bell-to-bell high of the prior day, we are slightly through that level. That level is 26.9275 with the bell-to-bell low down at 26.27 Settlement 26.69 value area high 26.71, value area low coming in at 26.44 European close 26.55. Volume was 3,396,000 contracts in the S&P 500. That is a ton of contracts. Very, very high. Overnight high 2,700 and 3/4. Overnight low down at 26.60. Pivot points R4A all the way up. Geez, it's way high. All the way up at 2,800 half. R3 27.64 half. R2 27.2875. R1 overnight resistance so far plotted 26.99. S1 26.33 half. Sorry, the pivot point is 26.63. S2 25.9775. S3 25.68, and then S4A down at 25.38 half. For our 10-day range analysis, the prior day, 65.5 point range, massive. Median's been 49.5. The entire session also 65.5. Median 61.5. Overnight 34.75, and a first hour 34.25. So big ranges on Friday and a lot of volume. Index strength percentage change: the Russell was the best performing market. The S&P was the worst on Friday. However, over the last week, the Dow is performing the best and the S&P is the worst. On a 10-day period, Dow is still leading, and then the Nasdaq begins lagging. But really the whole move down here has been led by the Russell. The Russell's been the weaker market. Let's take a look now at these markets, talk about a couple of major support and resistance levels. See, this morning I had a couple of computer issues. Might have to see if this can reload real quick. My settings be saved. My indicator codes are not on there right now, so Gonna reload it one moment. Here we are. Popping through. All right, that worked. Start with the S&P 500 here. As a reminder, guys, this 2658 major support level here. And it comes from the weekly chart. And that is the high of 2016 to high. Now that 38% retracement is 2658. That is going to be the most significant support level we have this week. If that breaks, I have really nothing until 2569s. 2569s. I'm going to move the hourly chart now. The extension, this is a little more of a difficult draw to see, but basically when we started breaking down, going back to the beginning of October, there was a low-to-low extension sequence from the low of 29.35 half to low. This traded to its target every time we've rotated into these retracements. Okay, so the current same anchor new low traded here. I think it's like 6 times the target. The current same anchor new low is where I'm anticipating our resistance level to come in to play. And that is up at 27.45. 27.45 is where I would expect us to find major resistance. So right now, literally the only level, I mean, we have taken out the prior day's high here. We have a leg start in the overnight session. So I would watch in between 26.65 to 26.58 here for the S&P 500. That is where the rally had begun in a retest of that higher time frame support. Other than that, I'm not going to be more aggressive with any support levels. That is the only zone I'd look for in the S&P 500. And then we can also, I do want to watch this leg start up here, 27.18, this zone. If we can get through this zone, 27.18, I would look for that move up into 27.45. All right. Now for the Russell, the extension here is going to break at 15.07. We've had, now this would be the third test. We technically pierced it on Thursday, retested on Friday, and then here we are getting bid above. So I want to be aware of higher time frame resistance levels. One, the extension that began on October 2nd, low to low. So I'm actually just going to delete this draw right now. And then this extension, same anchor new low sequence. That 38% retracement. Is going to be at 15.33 half. 15.33 half. And then the 50% retracement is 15.57. So I want to mark up both of those levels. This 15.57 is a level I really like. And then so is that 15.33. And the Russell, remember, is the weaker market. So I'm going to set an alert at both of those for potential sell zones. Now we also had a leg start here on Friday coming out of lows, so I'm going to mark that up. I just want to mark up the top of that wick actually. You had leg start once, another one twice, this is 3 times, and this is 4 times. So we are having a lot more leg starts now to the upside than to the downside. So this full halfway back I will draw up here from the Friday low to high. And that's at 1481.7. And that's negative 61 targets into our resistance. I do want to mark up that 1481.7, call it 1482 for the Russell. Go to the Nasdaq. The full halfway back from the high of October 17th to low is where we found our resistance on Thursday. The Nasdaq then broke down, and the halfway back for the year, the 50% retracement for the year is 69.46. The 61.8 is 67.61 half, and that broke. I'll continue to watch that. Now coming out of lows, the only thing I want to watch here to the downside is this zone right here where that rally had begun. It's the only thing I want to watch. That's 68.57 to 68.30, really big range. Otherwise, as far as resistance goes, I just see us moving back to the top side of this range. I'm going to take that high and draw it to the new low, which will bring that resistance down just a bit to make it a lower, basically a lower high. And that is 70.51. Alright, so that's what I'm going to mark up there. Now moving on to the Dow. The high of the 24th to low, currently where our resistance is, there's a leg start right above that will act as resistance as well, or I'm anticipating it to do so. And I'm just going to bring this over here. One thing I want to be aware of, the halfway back from Wednesday, the 17th to low, is 25,130, and that is a level of resistance that I am potentially interested in. So I'm going to box that off. It also lines up with the leg start in the beginning of the breakdown of last Wednesday. So right there, and then setting in alerts, 25,130. And then once again, I'm just going to mark up the bottom of this support level. This support level is actually from the daily chart. This 24,463. I'm going to leave that there. All right, that's what I have for the indexes. For oil, untested resistance at 68.16 and 68.83. That has not changed. We had a nice reversal out of lows. I still want to pay attention to, there's a 66.79 support level I have in here. I think that could potentially be coming into play here today. I really do like that 66.79 if we can trade it. Alright, so I'm setting an alert there. So 66.79 on the downside support, 68.12 for the upside resistance, and 68.16 right next to each other. Then the 68.83, I really like this, especially if it's choppy moving into it. Let's see. Alright, so that's what I have for oil. And then gold. Same sequence as last week. We had a really nice spike higher on Friday, and then it got completely rejected. That 1244 was a resistance level, and then we just fell right off of it. But the same anchor new high sequence. Oh no, I just moved my anchor. I have to redraw that. The anchor here is see if I can grab it. It's like 1201.8. Traded multiple times now to target. Same anchor new high. We have the 38 and the 50% retracements at 1229.1 would be that 38% retracement, and then 1223.9 is that 50. So I'm gonna set both those alerts, 1229 and then 1223.4. Those are two significant levels for me. So let me back out here, take a look at all 6 of these markets, and then talk about what I really want to see here today. Oil, 66.79, really important. This gold extension is very important to me. If we can complete this, if we get a short covering rally in the Russell and can trade up to 1533, which is a 30-point rally, but in these markets, most things are possible. That would be a total fade. Also, NASDAQ halfway back. For me, that's 70.51, big resistance. 75.130 in the Dow, big resistance. Big support for me at 26.58 in the S&P 500. And then big resistance at 27.18. And then 27.45 is also a major resistance level for me. But that's all I have here, guys. So for everybody who's part of Major League Trading, I will be sharing my levels in the Discord for you to load up. Thank you for watching the MLT Morning Trade Plan. If you enjoyed this content, please give this video a thumbs up, guys. It really helps boost it. So just click that thumbs up if you're sitting here watching. And if you're serious about learning to trade, feel free to check out our website and the courses that we teach. Pursue with passion, remove self-doubt, and succeed with effort. Everybody have a fantastic week.